How's everybody doing today? This is Uncle Chuck. I hope you're well, considering all. Obviously, if you're a crypto miner or a crypto investor, we've all had a really rough 48 hours since FTX just declared bankruptcy and created utter carnage in the industry. And effects that were almost felt immediately in the markets when things started to go down. I'm gonna keep this video light. We are going to crack this box and find out what the heck's inside. Before I crack this box, I would like to thank absolutely all of you out there that have subscribed to the channel over the last week, over the last month. It means the world to me, so thank you. Last week, I did a video on the new Bluestar L1. It is a Blackminer L7 clone miner. So we got it set up and running. And a number of you this week have sent me emails and said, hey Chuck, are you gonna do an update on the profitability or any issues that you've had? Absolutely, yes I will, and we will talk about it during this video here. But that gets us to today. What do I have here? I purchased this miner the same time as the Bluestar L1, and it's also a clone miner. But what I've learned in the last week is that this is exactly the same as the Bluestar, just under a different name. It is called the Blackminer L1. So let's crack this thing. Okay, I decided to kind of do away with the balance of the unboxing, but here you have it. This is supposed to be the Blackminer L1. And as you can see, this is actually the Bluestar L1, the one we unboxed last week and got set up. I unplugged it and brought it over just to be able to compare it. So you can see side by side that these are exactly the same miner. Even though the supplier told me I was purchasing a Blackminer L1, you can see it says Bluestar L1 down here. Now, would I have gone ahead and purchased a second Bluestar L1? Probably not. But anyway, it's here, so we're gonna get this thing set up. Now, there is a chance that the firmware is different on this over this miner here. I highly doubt it, but I have been told there is differences between firmware in these clone machines. So, we're also gonna talk about the Bluestar L1 kind of 7 days after a week of mining, profitability, and any issues that I may have run into that I wanna tell you guys about. All right, so we'll get into it. Okay, yes, I still have the jank testing bench set up, but I've got the Bluestar connected, and I am gonna make some room for the now, and we are going to power down the old Silicon A11. This thing is bleeding every day, so we're gonna get this thing the heck out of here. Okay, we've got the new miner powered up. We just need to get her connected to a pool, and we're gonna do that now. It'll give us a chance to compare both of these, but as I said, and we opened the box, these things are exactly the same, but I am curious to see if the firmware is different between the two. But, all right, let's do it. Okay, the first thing that I want to say is that this is not a setup video. If that's what you're looking for, in the description down below, I've left a link to the video that I did about a week and a half ago on the unboxing and the initial setup on the Bluestar L1. This video is going to focus on kind of the first week and a half of mining with it and the profitability. I'm going to move forward now. So we've unboxed this new Bluestar L1. I'm logged into the dashboard of the miner, and as you can see, it's exactly the same as the one we unboxed last week, which is here. There's no difference between either of these miners whatsoever. So I'll be honest, after we set up the Bluestar L1 last week on F2 Pool, I had pretty much zero issues. It was close to that 5,000 mega hash. And yeah, as we determined last week, she's power hungry, but still it was consistent. I ran it for about 3+ days, and that's when I decided to kind of check the profitability, and I moved it over to DX Pool. And while I tried to connect it to DX Pool, to put it on a pool by itself. And one of the things that I noticed right away is that it would connect, but 0 hash rate, 100% rejected shares. So what I've done is kind of to replicate what I did last week with the first miner. And this, I have connected the Bluestar L1, the new one we unboxed, to DX Pool. And as you can see, we are connected and hash rates through the roof. we've got 0 accepted shares, rejected 32 already, and this is in the first 2 minutes. Now, if we take a look in the dashboard here at DX Pool, you can see the pool detects the miner. It's right here. But when we click on it, we get this 100% rejected share rate. I didn't really know what the heck was going on, so I went back and I reconnected to F2 Pool and 0 issues. And that's the way I kind of left it. Then I had a couple people reach out to me and tell me that they were having issues connecting it to Litecoin Pool, that there was obviously an issue here. So I went ahead and I connected my first Bluestar to Ant Pool. Same thing that we're experiencing here at DX Pool. 100% rejected rate, but the miner was connected to the pool. So there was an issue. Now, I'll be honest here. What company releases a miner without testing it with some of the most popular mining pools to make sure it works? Beyond ridiculous. Now, to be clear, it works absolutely fine with F2 Pool, and I had 0 issues with F2 Pool. But again, what about Litecoin Pool, DX Pool, and Ant Pool? And again, there's others that I don't know whether they work or they don't. So I contacted both suppliers that I purchased each of these miners from, and they contacted the manufacturer. Now, one of the suppliers got back to me today and told me that the manufacturer's aware of the problem and that they will rectify it with a future firmware update. But why not rectify that before you release the actual miner? It just makes no sense whatsoever to me. So I'm going to throw in another scenario here. There's another clone miner called the Hammer D10 Plus. I talked about it just briefly in my prior video. So now, although I don't have one of those, I contacted the main supplier that carries this miner, and they were nice enough to give me their firmware. I am in the dashboard of the Bluestar L1. This is the one we unboxed today and set up, and I am going to reflash this with the Hammer D10 Plus firmware. So I'm going to speed ahead here, and we'll see what happens. So we've reflashed the Bluestar L1 with the Hammer D10 Plus firmware. I've let the miner run for just over 23 minutes, as you could see, and we've got hash rate, but we've got 0 accepted shares. So same scenario that we were in with the Bluestar L1. I connected this to my litecoinpool.org account. You can see it at the top. We've got 0 hash rate, just invalid shares. So I can definitively say that these clone miners, their firmware is exactly the same. And they do not work with some of the most popular mining pools. So this is concerning to me, and it should be with you as well. Now, they work perfectly fine with F2 Pool. I happen to be using at this point in time merge mining with Doge, but they should be working with some of the most popular mining pools out there. And I'm sure all of you agree with me. Okay, we're over at F2 Pool, and this is a secondary account that I set up just for these clone miners. So I'm going to click on revenue. Now I know that the 14th and the 15th, these were days where it was just one Bluestar L1 running. So we're going to start on the 15th. We are going to copy this right here. First, we're going to do our LTC revenue. We're going to head over to CoinMarketCap, and we're going to put it in their currency converter. So what we're coming up with here is $4.15 a day. Now, this is one Bluestar L1. Now, keep in mind, this is at the lowest. This is after the whole FTX debacle. So we're going to head back to F2 Pool. So we're going to scroll down to our Doge revenue, and we're going to look for the 15th. We're going to come over here, and we are going to copy this total. Again, this is our daily rewards for Doge on the same day. We're going to go back to CoinMarketCap, and we're going to paste it in, and we're coming up with $9.36 in Doge rewards. So we've got a combined daily total of $13.51. That's our Doge rewards and our Litecoin rewards, which isn't that bad depending on the cost of your electrical. So times that by 7 days in a week, you're about $95 times a month. You're looking at around $380 per Bluestar L1. Now again, depending on your electrical costs, you're gonna have to factor that in. So let's head over to ASIC miner value. So we're around $13.17 a day, daily profit, not including the cost of your electrical and your Doge rewards. The Antminer L7, the 9050 as an example, you have a miner that is a lot more efficient than the clone miner. And I say clone as one because I definitively proved today that the Blackminer, Bluestar, Hammer D10 Plus, they're all the same miner. Price-wise, obviously, they're still less than half the cost of an Antminer L7, which is still around $9,500 next to $3,600. And you know, if you've got cheap electrical, you know, maybe the clone miner makes sense for you, but you also have to factor that you just don't have as many pools that you can run your miner with if you purchase one. We already know today that they don't run on some of the most popular pools, so that just may not make sense for you at all. In closing, I really haven't had any issues with the Bluestar L1 so far, and I do think that it is a good option to look at if you're looking for something that mines LTC, merge mines Doge. Again, I hope I've given you enough information today to decide on whether or not this is something for you or not. Lastly, we've got a couple new miners coming out in the next month or so here, starting with the Antminer K3. We've all been hearing about this thing for a while. It's a Cadena miner, and the price has come down substantially from a few weeks ago, over 11 grand. They were grinding for these things, about $6,800, and there's some availability. And they're gonna ship in the next couple weeks. And in January sometime, this new Antminer K7. It's a CKB miner, something we can talk about in future. Anyway, make sure you slam that subscribe button and the like. We'll see you all again really soon. Take care.